Hey everybody, welcome to Questionable Walk. I'm Taylor Stahl,
I'm Carson Marsh.
I'm Sebastian Natashi.
and we had a huge weekend this past weekend, like literally unreal. A lot of spreads were not covered, some spreads were covered, but let's get into it. CJ?
Yeah, so we can start with Browns Steelers. Browns came out with a 28-0 lead. First play of the game, turnover for a touchdown for the Browns with a snap. Kind of reminiscent of the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning getting that snap shot over his head. But it was just not a good day for the TikTok boys and at home. And I think it's funny to see how Juju became such like a liked player over the years. Now this year he's just like the most hated player. And before the game they said the Browns is the Browns. And while I do agree somewhat, this team does have a quick ability to get ahead, and they have a lot of scoring options. And they can be like a lightning quick team. So I don't think they're going to go far. I don't think they're going to win against Kansas City, but it was interesting to see two teams trending in different directions. Steelers obviously have not been playing well. Do you guys think this is going to be Big Ben's last game, either in the black and yellow uniform or in the NFL?
I mean, really, man, it should be, has to be.
It has to be.
He's been very serviceable for them for many years, gotten them a Super Bowl, but I think if anything, this game really showed.
He's also like pretty old.
Yeah, he's like 38.
He's like, he's like almost 40.
Not really a good person either, so he's gotta go.
I mean, when I was watching that game, like I was literally just watching him and being like, how is this guy in still? Like I was just like every time it didn't make any sense to me. He had so many like turnovers, so many issues. I was just like, how is this guy playing still? Like I don't even understand how he's even in the playoffs. Like, yeah, I mean he's had a decent run, I guess, but like I don't know. I was so thrown off by that game because I actually like watched him and I was like, this is terrible. Like you're terrible.
He was really struggling.
Yeah, I felt bad. He was crying. Oh, I felt so bad.
Out of the four senior citizen quarterbacks, I would definitely have to put him at fourth because I think Phillip Rivers actually did play well. I mean, Phillip is Phillip.
They're playing the Bills too.
Yeah.
But, man, couldn't even reach the end zone on that Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm. Very disappointing for the Steelers, a team that was, I think, went to like a 10-1 start, lost like 3 of their last 5 or wherever. But definitely a team that is always knocking on the door every year. I really thought this year may have been their year earlier in the season, but I was wrong in that sense. Didn't think this whole implosion would happen, but yeah.
Happy for Baker though.
Browns look great game. And that sucks. They have to play the Chiefs, but they could do the same thing. They could start out really hot. We saw the Texans do it against the Chiefs last year.
They played such a better game. Like they just played such a better game. It was crazy.
The Browns very, very explosive, but again, like CJ said, no one
playing a team like Kansas City that's equally as explosive, and if they're not sleepwalking, I don't think anybody can stop them. Maybe the Pack, but
they might not try for the first quarter though, so Browns might get off to a good one again.
True. No, I think maybe, but I still don't think there's any chance.
Yeah. Anyway. Speaking of other games, there was Ravens-Titans rematch of last year's wild card round playoff or divisional round playoff. Mm-hmm. And Lamar gets his revenge, kind of speeding his way over the Titans in that one. Derrick Henry, one of, I think, the lowest rushing total he's had all season.
Yeah.
Definitely got stuffed. Last year, I think he had 195 yards in the game. This year, I think he had under 50. So interesting to see King Henry in that one just kind of get stuffed. Ravens did cover the spread. I missed the last show. Seb, I think you were telling me that you took the Titans to cover in the game.
I did. Yeah, that's what I was leaning towards.
I think we both did.
Yeah, with Derrick Henry, the way he played last year in the playoffs against the Ravens, how he played against them in the regular season this year. Mm-hmm. I was just expecting a little bit more. Obviously, the punt by the Titans towards the end of the game was a decision that I didn't agree with. There's a couple punts on Saturday and Sunday that seemed a little questionable. I think that Mike Vrabel punt was it was something on Twitter like the worst punt decision of the season. Like analytically, I'm sure you saw that too, but they were right there on the cover, and the Ravens played a good game. They took care of business, so good
Yeah,
for sure.
Good win for them.
Yeah. There's been a lot of Tannehill slander from myself. I'm obviously wearing a jersey that we could have beaten the Steelers, but Tannehill with the interception to seal it. Just want to tell you Titans fans out there that you guys have them for another 4 years. You must have seen this coming. You have an offense built around a running back. You get stuffed, then the slander is coming back out. So, also we've talked a lot about how Lamar has declined a lot on this show. He's been looking really good. I mean, when he speeds his way to like 70, 80 yards a game and he's throwing for over, 180. I mean, he's definitely putting up MVP numbers in the sense that like he's looking like that 2018 version of himself. So we'll see. I think they play the Bills next week. Bills are favored in that game. They aren't big favorites, but we'll talk about that more in the recap show. In the regular show. But other than that, other playoff games, we saw Tampa Bay take on the team. Taylor Heineke, I may not be pronouncing that right, may be the new starting quarterback for the Redskins moving forward. I don't know. Played excellent. Covered as 9-point underdogs. And I don't know if you guys watched that game, but what did you guys like from Tampa Bay? Antonio Brown getting involved early, got that first TD. What did you guys see from Tampa Bay and that, and I guess football team too?
Yeah, well, so I was driving back to school, so I was only able to see like the fourth quarter. But I think it's important you mentioned Antonio Brown getting their touchdown. Seems like him and Tom Brady finally, sort of found their rhythm. I think that's four touchdown catches for AB, maybe in the last 4 games. And we know how good he is. Obviously, it was a lot of the off the field stuff that hurt him. But if he gets going for real, it's just another weapon for Tom Brady. Washington, not a bad team, especially since Dwayne Haskins stopped being their quarterback. Bruce Arians made that point. They were 4-1 coming into that game. So their defense, they caused some problems, but Tom was going to get the job done. Taylor Heineke looked really good. Good for Washington, good for the team that they have something to build on going into next year. I think him and Tom combined for 700 yards or something like that. Yeah. So
it's funny. Team always has these gems. I mean, they picked Kirk in the 4th round. Maybe just one gem, but still, the fact that their late round scouting for these quarterbacks seems to be good. So all praise to the football team in that one. And then I'm trying to think of another game.
Rams. How about the Rams?
Rams Seahawks. I feel like they're the only 2 teams. I feel like they played each other 20 times this season. I don't know why. I just feel like that's the only team I've seen them play.
Every game is the same, except for this game. But they all start out super slow, and then they kind of get into the scoring rhythm and stuff like that. It's 3-0 by the end of the first, and then
it's hard to start those games with no fans. I'm sure Seattle very bummed that they could not have the 12th man there.
Yeah, 100%. Plays a huge factor.
That was tough to watch. That happened to Russell. I mean, I don't know that didn't seem like the game that they knew how to play. Very, it just seemed like it was a super off day for him. Especially DK. I don't know. DK was on one that day. He was, it was a weird day to watch them play. And it was weird to watch the Rams lose, especially when we had the Rams win, especially when I had full faith in the Seahawks. As much as I love both teams, I just thought that Russell and DK were taking it all the way. But
it's interesting to see a guy like Russell Wilson, who's kind of just like Aaron Rodgers in the sense that you would expect these guys and their level of play to have 3 rings, maybe at least by the end of their career. Yeah. Both have one. Got them at different ages in their career. Maybe Aaron will get his second one this year. We will see. Yeah. But it is interesting to see a talent get wasted almost year in and year out with these little first or second round exits. But Rams look good.
We gotta credit them. Yeah, their best defense in the league. They're looking like it again. They made such good adjustments. I think it was week 16 that the Seahawks handled the Rams. Rams did not look good, and they came into Seattle and dominated the game at 30-20. It was 30-13 until garbage time, pretty much.
I mean, and we've talked so much shit about Goff on this show, and how he's so inconsistent, whatever, and the adjustments have been made before.
That's all he has to do. That's what I'm saying. Play with a broken thumb, so he can't throw it as much. And getting Akers going, getting their running game going is huge for the way Sean McVay likes to play. But It's the Peyton Manning Broncos thing. If the defense can play well like this, all Goff has to do is manage the game.
Yeah, give it to Cam.
And we'll
McVay's 38-0 when leading at halftime. Pretty remarkable stat for like a 42-year-old.
Yeah, it's like the Lakers too. The LA close. I think they didn't lose a game when they were entering the fourth quarter leading.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
We know how to play in the clutch, I guess. I don't know how the Rams, next week, obviously a little bit of a tougher matchup, but
yeah,
see what they can do. That defense, I have a lot of faith in right now. Jalen Ramsey locked DK again.
Yeah.
Crazy. And DK did not like that.
Yeah.
It's funny to watch. But okay, speaking of absolute legends, let's talk about freaking Nick Saban over here. Absolutely just his kingdom down in the South. I really don't understand it.
They're so good.
It makes no sense. Like it truly makes. I was having a conversation yesterday with someone and I was like, so what's going to happen when he's done? Like is Alabama just going to shut down? Because like actually what are they going to do without him?
No, I actually
think that man doesn't lose.
I actually think that the machine is already in place. Like, look at Ryan Day with Ohio State. You take Urban Meyer out of there, and they're still competing for a national championship.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll wear off, but let's just pretend Sark didn't go to Texas. Let's say Nick left, Sark takes over. I still think Alabama's top 5 team for the next 5 years at least. And then maybe after that, lose some muster. But, I mean, Nick Saban, winningest national champion coach in history, tied with Bear Bryant with 6 rings at Alabama. He obviously had one at LSU too, Nick Saban, I mean. But, yeah, it's crazy to see this team year in and year out. Last one in 2017 got blown out in 2018, and now they blow Ohio State out. So
it's crazy.
They looked, pretty unstoppable. Ohio State, I think it was 14-14. They were doing their best, but it's just so easy when you have the best running back in the nation, the best wide
receivers in the nation.
Devontae Smith, man, it looked like he was jogging out there most of the night.
Literally, though.
They're giving him linebacker single coverage. I mean, that's
he's gonna tear him apart.
That's a touchdown. Like
Ohio State's defensive backs cannot hang with any of those Alabama wide receivers.
Yeah, and Devontae, I mean, didn't even have to play in the second half. As I'm sure our viewers saw, 12 catches, 215 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I think his over under for the game was 11 catches, and he hit it in the first half. So,
oh my
God. Just not. That doesn't make sense to me. He deserves everything.
He looks like a top 5 pick. If Dolphins at number 3, I'd rather them get an offensive lineman, but there's a lot of talk of them going 3.
But that Devontae jersey would be so nice.
Devontae squared as our wide receivers.
Actually,
that Devontae Adams tweet, I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but
yeah.
When you guys spell my name wrong, make sure you spell it Devontae because he's that boy. That was super cool.
Nice. I did see that.
Great press for Devontae Smith, who obviously is getting shouted out by like the best receiver in the playoffs probably right now. So
and LeBron James.
They all looked good. Najee Harris looked great. Mac Jones took care of business.
Mac Jones looked great too. He if he didn't get hurt, I think he would have broke Joe Burrow's record performance last year's game with 5 TDs, like 400 something yards. He may have actually broken it, but I know he hurt his thumb at the end or something.
And then, they I mean, it was over by that point. And he can't throw to Devontae anymore. He's probably a little confused, but
yeah.
And Jalen Waddle, they just let him play just to give the Ohio State defense.
He wobbled off the sideline though, so you never like seeing that. But
why would they? That's what we were talking about. I think
he wanted to play. I think,
man. Why would they?
Yeah, but that's not good for NFL draft stock. Coming off an ACL looking like that. Like
that's what I'm saying. Why even play?
Yeah, but I think a lot of decisions of like Jamar Chase, LSU was like the most highly touted receiver. And think about this: he didn't play this year, and he probably just costed himself like $10 million because Devontae Smith, if he's definitely the number 1 receiver now, Heisman winner, national championship. He'd probably go top 5.
Yeah, I mean, the way he made it look last night and throughout the whole season pretty much, but last night against finally the best other team in the nation, Sean Wade, too. They got some dogs back there in the Ohio State secondary and blowing by him.
It looked easy. Way too easy. I felt so bad because I was like, it shouldn't be that easy.
He didn't say a word either until after the game. And then they asked him about his thumb, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be fine." Like he just didn't.
Nick Saban was like joking around with him, like, "Oh, you couldn't play the second half, like really?" Or like joking around with him, like, "Figure it out, you'll be fine."
What if he got hurt, man? That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And that Heisman mask was cool. I mean, he's just.
That was crazy.
A dog. He's just a dog.
That was crazy. But I think it was a crazy playoff weekend for sure. Money. I don't know what happened to your guys' money. If you guys want to talk about your guys' bets and what you guys hit.
Well, so I hit on Alabama, but I had a teaser, so it was -3. But a lot of good bets coming up for this weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah. I did bet on the Rams, ended up betting on them, so I got that one. But been betting lots of basketball, and it's been it's tough right now with all the postponements and who's playing tonight and who's gonna not play. Like the Wizards blow out the Suns last night, like absolutely destroy them. So who knows? We'll have more of that on Thursday though, with all the rest of the playoffs, divisional playoffs. Finally, we'll get to see Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers this weekend. So
yeah,
not wait for that showdown. But yeah, make sure you guys are checking out the Twitter live tweets of so many different games. And we will see you on Thursday.